Thank you so much for your time and for taking the time to talk to us. And the first question that I have for you is that you helped shape the PC industry when you created the PC, the personal computers, and what is going to change the industry now? What do you see that's going to change
Yeah.
absolutely?
Well, of course, we've had constant change all along because we had PCs when the amount of memory to hold a song cost $1 million. We didn't foresee iPods and the like then. We thought as a computer, not as just a life helping device. So it's changed a lot. And what happened was the PCs got faster, better, but the displays, the user interface, the display you had, and the way you communicated. We went to the mice, and eventually we had an internet, and then we had broadband, we had high speed, and we could download lots of things and watch videos. So the nature of what a computer is has changed so much throughout time. And PCs were kind of at the start of that, saying that computers can be in people's hands and be useful. But when the iPod came out, you had so much music in basically a little computer in your hand. And then the iPhone. The iPhone said the world's going to change greatly again. A touch screen, it's actually the cheapest way rather than putting buttons in for things. A touch screen that you can tap and do all your work. Now everywhere you go, everything tries to be a touch screen. There's pluses and minuses to that. I mean, you're in your car, and it's a touch screen, and it's in a jiggly car, and it's a noisy car. So it's hard to say, do you get some pluses, some minuses? And, where are we going to go from here? And I think it's still going to always be the interface between a user and devices they're trying to use going through a computer. Sometimes the answer is directly in the computer. And look at companies that became so huge in places like Korea, the United States, Google, and all that, with search engines, finding what's on the web, and that became very tricky because the web wasn't created to find things, and then how do you search them constantly? That became a big part of our life, and that led to many other things. The companies are so huge, they can kind of explore with millions of users, explore a lot of things and find out what works and what doesn't. So where are we going now? Could we have predicted almost any of these steps that really came? It's very hard to see and say, because sometimes, like, what's the device of tomorrow going to be? My answer is it's usually going to be a handheld phone-like device, like our phones today. And I say that because cars started, let's say, 150 years ago, and cars have sort of always been kind of the same thing: four wheels, a space inside for people to ride to places they need to go. Cars have kind of stayed the same, I don't know, overall size and look and everything. And that's why I think sometimes you hit a plateau and it goes for a long, long, long time before it really changes drastically. Every time technology improves, from the wheel, a hammer, a person could do more than they could before. Every step of technology is better than the last. And the ones who go on in the next generations are the ones who've learned how to use the technology of today.
And just adding up, you said that you talked about so many technologies, but there is one that's been disruptive in a very cautious way for us. What do you think about AI, and what is it taking us, and which companies are leading this transformation?
Yes. AI is, there are some negative sides to it because people think, I believe the A is real, but people think the I, intelligence, but it doesn't work like a human brain. It can't adapt to something new. Here's how I should figure out a way to get around it. It doesn't create, it grabs a lot of things from the web. And I fear, as most people are seeing a lot of examples put out where AI is misleading, it's deceptive, it's hallucinogenic, it's misinformation, and it's biased in a lot of cases. And so I have proposals. There are a lot of people, key people that developed AI of today, are saying it should be regulated because they've seen it's hard to control the problems in it, the knowledge of is it truth or not. Truth's a very important thing. And they've said it should be regulated. I have proposals as to how it should be regulated and why. And I'll be talking about those today.
So, Mr. Wozniak, still about AI. You said before you were a bit worried about all the risks that involves it, right? Could you explain a bit more what are those risks?
Sure. Well, I worry about people and consumers always more than producers. Like companies are wealthy and powerful. No, I always care about just the average consumer just in their home using it. And there are too many stories coming out where people believe things that weren't true, or people, the deep fakes especially, where you think it's one of your family members calling you, asking for money, and this has been going on for a long time, trying to, ransomware and that sort of thing. AI is going to be a new tool for the bad users, the bad humans who want to take advantage of other humans. It's going to amplify their ability to do that. And that bothers me greatly. And how do you know when something should be trustable or not? And that's what I'm going to talk about specifically, what we should do to further that. Development of AI is just, let's get it done as quick as possible. It's the next big thing. And every company's got to jump in, like when the internet was here. And they all jumped in on all these internet companies. And we had a huge bust in Silicon Valley. Everything went broke, and people moved out, and traffic got great. San Jose, California, only lost population one time in its history, 2003. So things like that could be happening now, because when you see everybody sort of forced to go on the same bandwagon, it's going to change things drastically. And it will. AI is going to make us more powerful, but AI, to me, is going to be the reporter, getting the information off the web, from other sources, and a human has to be the editor, determining what has value to other people, and what has emotional value. Almost every decision we make in our life, including business, has an emotional value as to why this way is better than that way. And when are we going to have an AI that has emotions, that cries at a sad story of, a dog getting saved by a human? Makes me cry. No, it's not. We're missing a lot. Also, when you look at like cars that claim to use AI, my Tesla tried to kill me enough times, I won't touch it anymore there. But they just can't see if there's something new out there that wasn't expected and planned for in advance. Something new, something closed down a certain way, handheld written signs are up there with words. AI doesn't know what the words mean, so all this stuff that's driving us, they just can't handle what a dumb human driver can.
So, but now AI is the next big thing, right? But some months ago, crypto was the next big thing, right? And you've said before that Bitcoin was a mathematical, marvel. What's your opinion on crypto? Did crypto lose its space? What happened?
Oh, I've not been a fan of crypto at all. I don't invest. I've never invested in crypto. I don't invest in companies. I've never used Apple's stock app. I just want to live a life, a good, fun life. And crypto is interesting. Blockchain, what it's all about, how it works. The mathematical principles are strike me as important. But you're right. Yeah, a lot of crypto, everybody jumped on. A lot of people made huge amounts of money for just about nothing, just by jumping on it first. And a lot of people are trying to do that with AI now. But the real people that should be creating AI are the ones that develop it, that actually develop them themselves. How do you train a certain AI? And different AIs are trained on different materials. And what was that material? And how do you verify that what it's saying, where did it come from? How can I go back and check it? And if I ask a question to an AI and change one word, I get an opposite answer. So how do you explain, what were the questions asked? So I'm a little worried about AI. We're going to develop it as fast as we can, thinking this is riches and great money, and we're going to put a bunch of money into developing it, but we're not going to think, how can we have the most truthful AI, the most that doesn't take advantage of people, that can't be used in that way, and I'm afraid you can't stop the developers. It's just like crypto.
Just one last question. What have you been to Brazil before? Is this your first time? And what do you think about the Brazilian tech industry?
I have been to Brazil to speak, not for a long time now. Been to a lot of different cities in Brazil, and I was always excited by the enthusiasm for people to get into tech and all that. Also, I love the spirit, the joy, the music, the dancing, and that stuff. And I think that's a very important part of life, because great products come less from skills and knowledge, more from wanting to do something. And you got to have some skills too, but the wanting, the motivation is so strong. So I've always been very impressed every time I've been here.
Thank you so much. I hope you can come again some other time.
I sure hope so. By the way, when I was about 8 years old, 7 years old maybe, I saw an exhibition event for a sport we don't have in the United States. Long time ago, it was soccer. And my father took me down, and we got to watch a guy play named Pele.
And that changed your life, I bet.
Well, to this day, I'll never forget that. I'll never forget that. And when I'm here and, see the spirit and the memories.
Thank you so much.